And it's because part of this is even when they started actively developing in June of 2003, because they went from December to June and they were working on the E3 demo, right? That they showed off in June. And everybody knows that E3 demo is that like, oh, hey, why did this Halo level never ship level type thing, right? Well,
Yeah.
the thing with that is, and I think everybody knows this, or anybody who's like looked into the development of Halo 2, that E3 demo, if you took walk 3 feet off of basically any direction and didn't just play the demo as was, it would crash. So they didn't even have a playable level. Like the hope was, okay, we're going to put all the time and resources into this stuff. And at the very least, once we do this E3 demo, we'll have a product that we can like branch off of. Come June, they didn't even have that. So now they're working on Halo. They have basically 9 months. And Microsoft didn't have to give them that even, because the two options were liquidate the studio or give them a year. They chose to give them a year. At this point, Pete Parsons was actually he wasn't the CEO of Bungie. He was the go-between between Microsoft and Bungie. He was actually worked at Microsoft at the time. And so he was the liaison. And so they're basically he's got basically everybody on. That's pretty standard for a stage. Yeah. But this was like the way that you have to go about this, or the way that Bungie talks about this, is they had this demo that they were working on that it had to be part of the game because they were putting so much time and resources into it and they didn't have anything else. Right. So, well, yes, you're correct. It's a little different in this situation, basically. Oops, sorry.
You're good. Kind of a follow-up on this train of thought, though, would be if it's 100% Bungie, which I do believe that it is.
Yeah.
Is Sony happy with this acquisition and where it sits right now? What do you think?
No. Well, I think Sony's like one of those, we basically got conned, $1 billion more than I think at the time Bungie was valued at like $2 billion or something like that. And Bungie management managed to basically, with all these incubation projects, with all this stuff about, oh, we can come in and like do all this stuff for your other live service games, blah, 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 blah. They sold themselves really well. And now Sony is far too invested to back out, obviously, to like close it down and like, fire everyone basically. So yeah, they fired a bunch of people, don't get me wrong, but Sony's like too into it right now. I mean, Sony's not looking good financially as is either.
Was this just what gave them the balls to do this? So like, if you hang around and they're trimming trees outside, so I'll be quick. When they like Xbox around the time is just acquiring studios, and everything they buy for more. So they buy ZeniMax, and like around this same time, they're trying to go through the process of buying Activision. If I remember this timeline correctly.
Yeah, you're about right.
In 2023, but like that was a long drawn out process. So you see your buddy, right, show up in a brand new luxury car, ordering wine for the table, just bought a new house, going on vacation. Is Sony like, well, I can afford to do a little bit. Like I can afford to buy Bungie. Like is something, and I need to do something. Like I have to keep.
Well, up. What was it? Who was the CEO of Activision, or not Activision, Sony at the time? I can't remember his name.
He just recently retired, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.